Glad to see some of you woke up after the barbecue. We sure had fun yesterday, didn't we? That was fun. We missed you, Jim. We missed you. We missed you, Cecilia. We missed you. So welcome, and I'm going to remind you that our mission statement is that saying that's on the very front of our program. We missed you too, Dan. And here we go. So happy you're here. There you go. We are a loving spiritual community that honors your presence, nurtures your joyful self-expression, and empowers your spiritual growth. Do you believe that? Yes, because you know what? That what we're here is we're living this light and love and this understanding of this teaching that brings us into this understanding that we are in charge of our lives and that there is a power that's greater than we are that we use that implements those desires that we want to create. So let's read our opening affirmation together. Today, I have a deep and abiding conviction there is one divine and perfect presence in the universe, that the Spirit of truth is everywhere, that God is right where I am. I have faith that my word shall not return to me void. I expect to meet my good, and I rejoice in the anticipation of this good. I rest in the calmness and confidence, knowing that divine love and infinite intelligence will guide and guard me always. And now we're going to have our song, and I don't have a little copy of it. We're going to sing This Little Light of Mine, although it's a big light. So here we go. I've got to hold it out here. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. Hide it under a bushel. Oh no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. Oh no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. Oh no, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Spirit gave me the light. Spirit gave me the light. I'm gonna let it shine. Spirit gave me the light, and I'm gonna let it shine. Spirit gave me the light. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. No one can blow it out. No one can blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. I love that. No one can blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. No one can blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All righty, that's No One Can Blow It Out. I love that. Okay, it's time for our announcements. Once again, we thank everyone that came to the barbecue yesterday and that participated. We want to thank Lainey for getting all the food, Nancy for helping set it up, Susan for setting it up, Naomi for setting it up, Maria for setting it up, Robert for contributing, and whoever else was involved, because there were a lot of people. Julia, all right, and Julia, who's probably slept in today, recovering once again. She's in the kitchen, okay. And here comes Lainey. I see a traveling hat, so I see her coming in. We really did have fun, didn't we? And we want to thank Rebecca because she won the 50-50, which is really fabulous. Yay for Rebecca. Rebecca does a lot around here. She puts the labeling up on the marquee every week, and she takes the recycling, and she does a bunch of stuff. So we want to really thank her. So it couldn't have happened to a better person. So as she walks in the door, Lainey's birthday party is next week at 1 p.m. and all are invited. It's going to be right there in Chafee Hall. So you got to show up. All right, so we're hoping to see you there. Again, it's 1 p.m. over in Chafee Hall. Dennis and Pinocchio do our sound bath, and that is going to be on Saturday, July 25th from 1 to 2. Cost is $25, and they are fabulous. So how many have been to the sound bath before? It's just wonderful. So It's wonderful. I'm going to be out of town. Last week, I forget where, I think I was in a workshop. So I'm like, darn it, I'm going to miss them again. So I've got emails out to them to say, are you coming in August? Are you coming in September? So we'll see. But to be continued. Movie night will not be in July because I'm going to be out of town and we have a bunch of things going on the weekend. And just to let you know of some of the standard things that are going on, every Monday from 4 to 5:30 is choir practice right here. And Michelle leads that. I think they're on hiatus this week.
Until like end of August.
Until end of August, there's a little breather. So just know that we'll let you know when it starts back up again. The Zoom discussion is on Wednesdays from 6:30 to 7:30. Susan heads that up. And they discuss the Science of Mind magazine articles, and they have big discussions. If you're interested, Susan will give you the Zoom link. It's all done by Zoom. The Gentle Stretch class is on Fridays from 10 to 11. Michelle had to take a hiatus on Friday because she was babysitting a special dog that had special needs. So, but it's back again on Friday. And then remember that every Sunday at 9 a.m. we look at the Science of Mind magazine and book and study that. And then also after that we have a little meditation for 15 minutes, and then the service begins at 10. And then afterwards up in the front we have a prayer circle, and that is anybody that has anything going on in their lives. And that would basically be all of us because we're humans. We would come up here, say a single word for your prayer, and there you go. All right, I think that is it. I think our meal is going to be our leftovers, hamburgers, chicken sausage, hot dogs, many salads, and dessert, and brownies. And no hamburgers left. Okay, well, there you go. But we're going to have good food left over. So there you are. And now we're going to have our meditative music, and so it is.
God is all there is. I am one with the Spirit. I realize the truth, and I speak it. I am thankful for it all. I release it, I let it go, and so it is, and so it is. I know it is, and I receive as I believe. Amen. 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 So now is our time for our invocation, our affirmative prayer. So now that the music got us in the mood, just sit back, relax, close your eyes or lightly focus, whatever you'd like. But yes, let's just start with a nice deep breath in and out. Slowly we breathe in, and slowly we relax our body and we breathe out. And in this moment, in this very moment, we are here communing with Spirit, acknowledging our oneness with the One, the Great All, the One that is the creator of everything that is known and all that is unknown, the visible, the invisible, and us. We are one with God. We are God expressing right here, right now, in this magnificent incarnation and all that God is, we are. We have that power. We have that wisdom. We have the love and the peace and the joy that is God. And as we share these beautiful attributes of the One, we share them in oneness with our fellow expressions, our family, our friends, the people we meet at the grocery store, or someplace that we have to stand in line. They are all expressions of the One as well. And when we can look at them and know that, we can truly say we are feeling our oneness in the universe with each other, and it is good. And in this goodness, for God is all the goodness that we have right here, right now, and more to come. We open our hearts and our minds to the fact that we can put into that beautiful law of mind and accept more goodness, more love into our life, more peace, more joy. And we can ask for the recognition of it in all those facets where it shows up in our life. In the things that we love to do, our career, in the people that we love, in the people that are across the world that we don't even know, but we can share our loving being, and we know that it goes through the world as the power of energy, rippling through all the energy that everyone is as well. So in gratitude for the gifts of spirit showing up in our lives in so many ways, we have the beauty of this earth. We have our family and friends and those that we love. We have so much to be grateful for. And we know that there is plenty more to be grateful for, because as we show our appreciation for these gifts, that just puts it into that fantastic law of mind, bringing us more of God's grace and goodness. So we just will release these words, knowing the power of our word to bring us our good, because we are one with God right here, right now. And let us all affirm this goodness by saying, and so it is. So today I went through my little library and I pulled out the old Living the Science of Mind, which I haven't looked at for a long time. But I was thinking, okay, well, Mary's talk is about, exploring, the goodness and, bringing more of that into our lives. And I kind of found an interesting section called Belief, Faith, and Prayer. And while it's a much longer section, I'm just going to read you a couple of paragraphs because I think they're real important into how we live our life. So this first paragraph says, what is belief? Most surely, belief is a certain way of thinking. It is an activity of consciousness. Belief is a thing of thought, and being a thing of thought, we can change this belief and regulate our belief so that what happens will be good for us, and we will be glad to have it happen and joyously welcome it. Faith is an affirmative mode of thought. Faith says, I can. And we can change our thought in regard to lack, because this is what treatment is for. All the power there is devoted to my good. I am not afraid of poverty or lack of any kind, because all the power there is devoted to giving me abundance and my good. God provides me with every good thing today, every day, and always. And this, I put a little star because I thought this was like one of the most important sentences of that paragraph. Whatever we can have faith in, and having faith in can understand, we may experience according to the law of cause and effect. This law is immutable, invariable, unassailable, and absolute. And so it is.
Good morning. Good morning. Here are some familiar tunes for you.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Our talented Cecilia. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And that must be kind of home for you, right, Lauren? Lauren just came back from Austria. And
Climbing every mountain.
yes, climbing every mountain probably, and in Paris and everything. So there you go. Well, today I come up with these titles sometimes, and I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? And I put explore what could be right. And I thought it was coming from a place that, so many times we go out there in life and we see all the stuff that's wrong, right? You hear on the news all the stuff that's going wrong, and everybody's talking and crabbing about all the things that aren't working right. And I thought, but what if we came from a spot where it was right? What if we came from a spot where everything was working out perfectly? And in this teaching, it reminds us that it's a matter of training our thinking, isn't it? It's a matter of training the way we see things. I'm not saying pour pink paint on stuff that isn't working out. I mean, there's stuff going on in the world that's not so hotsy-totsy right now. But in your own life, think about this. Think about if the thing that you had been praying for and that you had been imagining, think about if it already happened. Think about if it already showed up. How would you be breathing today? How would you feel today if the thing that you really desired and imagined showed up in your life, right? So it's not someday, it's not when all the evidence appears, but right now. Would you be able to relax into your body? Would you be able to really allow it to happen? Because a lot of times making ready for things is the allowing and the ability to receive whatever it is we're asking for. But a lot of times we go with the argument, oh, this can never happen, this could never happen, oh, this would be impossible, oh, this person's always this way, they never change, whatever it is. But could you just allow your imagination to go wild for a moment and play with the idea that, it's here, it's now, and imagine what that feels like in your body. I went to a workshop on Friday night with a woman that's the lead hypnotherapist in all of Southern California. She's the president of the organization. And it was very interesting, the stories that she had to share, because she talked about, she works in Bali with birthing children. And she said, it's uncomfortable for the people having the babies. She said, but there's no pain. She said, we go into a hypnotic state and there is no pain. And she said, it's quite a remarkable difference than, typical birthing, which is, can be painful, et cetera. And she said, it is a matter of shifting our consciousness and our mind and allowing things to happen, but we also have to receive it in, right? So in this art of living that really exists, it's already done today, and that's what I'm talking about in exploring what could be right. Because think about it, when we create things, they're created twice. They're created in thought, and then they're created in form. But we have to think of them first. Otherwise, they can't come into being, because it can only happen to us what comes through us, right? So if we're listening to everything out there that's telling us what reality is does that become our reality? Maybe if we accept it in, but if we decide to see things differently, things are different. My friend sent me a thing today, this morning. She posted this. She's a prayer chaplain in Connecticut, and she said, I'm not weird. I'm a limited edition. And she is definitely. So it is a gentle training of the inner world when we start to think about things that we really want to create and imagine it. We're reprogramming the subconscious mind. Now remember, there's two aspects of the mind, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is us right here, what we're thinking about all the time, thinking and doing. And the subconscious mind is what we impress upon with our thoughts. I always give the example of a petri dish, or remember when you were a kid and you had the plaster Paris and you put your hand in it? It's the subconscious mind is always receiving. It is the obeyer. It never says, oh no, I don't like that idea, we're going to throw that one out, or oh yeah, let's go with that. No, it totally obeys whatever it is we're giving to it. And we forget sometimes that subconscious mind is always going. It's always being programmed. And we need to pay attention to what we're paying attention to and what we're allowing in our consciousness, because that is actually making the impression in our subconscious mind. Now, a lot of the stuff that happens started way back when we were kids. It was pretty remarkable. This woman that was teaching this workshop on Friday said she remembered when she was born. She remembered what the doctor looked like. She remembered the pain and the angst and all that stuff, and they put drops in her eyes as a baby. She remembered everything. But she said, you can do that, but it's practice, right? It's a developmental practice of things. So when we come from the vision, instead of everything that's out there telling us that vision isn't going to happen, when we come from the vision and stick to that and stay committed to it and spend time about it, it happens. Robert didn't bake that beautiful cake yesterday by thinking about it only. He had to do something, right? He had to get the ingredients. He had to mix them all up. He had to put them in the pan and make the decoration of a flag, right? He had to do that. But it had to start with a thought. Like, oh my gosh, maybe you see a picture in a magazine and go, I want to make that thing, whatever it is. But we have to, it starts with an idea first. And then we have to let that idea germinate, and we have to stick with it in order to create it. Now, he wouldn't have created that cake if he was thinking, well, this probably isn't going to work out. It's going to bomb. Oh, well, I probably should have thought of some other kind of cake. And then he started thinking about another kind of cake, and he's creating this one, right? It doesn't happen like that. We have to stay the course. We have to stay with our mind on the vision that we want, that we desire. And now everybody in the world will turn around and tell you, oh, you Pollyanna. Anybody out there is going to go, it's not Pollyanna. It's allowing your imagination to create for you something new, something new. In most of our worlds, we taught that when we create something, we have to do, right? We have to get the car, we have to get the wardrobe, we have to get the house, we have to get the boyfriend, we have to get the girlfriend, we have to create this, we have to go out and do it, right? But before we go out and do it, when we have the desire, it's because our imagination is kind of, what would it be like? What would it be like if I was doing what I love to do? What would it be like if I was actually creating the experience that I wanted to create? We have to allow ourselves to think into that plane rather than let our world outside there dictate to us what's happening, right? Whatever it is you're trying to create, how many of us were taught? We weren't taught or encouraged to imagine. I don't know about you, but as a kid, when I was in school, I used to look out the window and daydream, and they'd be like, Mary, come back now, because I'd always be daydreaming, or I'd be playing. My mom would give me a box of clothes, and we would all dress up and be characters. I think I've told this story before. I was always Marilyn Monroe. I'd wear my mom's rhinestone necklace, and I'd drape myself over the radio and sing "Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend." And I'm like, and I'm not even crazy about diamonds, but it was just the idea of performing. And my mother's like, where are you performing now? I'm like, oh, I'm in the Grand Hall, whatever that was. So we'd all, you have an imagination. And that imagination is so instrumental in creating the life that you want. Beautiful works that Cecilia just played, it didn't happen by her going, oh, I kind of stink at the piano, I'm never going to pull this off. No, she had the imagination of playing this beautiful song, and it happens. Now she has to practice, she has to do it, she has to know how to read music, whatever it is. But guess what? It had to start with an idea of, I would love to do this, right? And how many times have you asked yourself in the day, what would I love to do, right? And it may not be vacuuming. That's what I have to do when I go home today. I'm like, you have to vacuum today. Inventions of any kind were not created by thinking about how they were going to flub up, right? They weren't, the Wright brothers didn't create flying by thinking about a plane not taking off in the ground. And then I went off on this tangent. I thought, oh, I have no idea. I want to look that up. So I'm going to share this with you. The term television was created by Konstantin Persky in 1900, okay? We can ask Lauren and Jennifer. They probably don't even know a time when a television didn't exist, right? But it was created in the 1900s at the Paris Exposition. And early experiments transmitted still images that kind of moved across radio waves, but it still wasn't a TV. It still wasn't moving images. The television was first practically demonstrated in 1925, with the first all-electronic system being in 1927. Think about that. That was only 100 years ago. That was only 100 years ago. Prior to that, the concept of TV began in the 1900s. But think about this. In June of 1951, okay, that happened after some of you were born, okay? In 1951 was color TV. And they didn't buy it. People were like, oh, color TV is never going to take off. It's never going to happen. You know what? They didn't like it. They thought the image was shaky, all that kind of stuff. And most people hung on to their black and white TVs into the 80s because they didn't believe color TV was, and plus the black and white TVs couldn't play color TVs. So they did, you know, they wanted nothing, they didn't want to have to go out and buy a new TV, right? Think about cell phones. I can remember working when this one long million years ago, and this guy goes, do you know I read an article and they said we're not going to be walking around with cash anymore. We're going to have these cards, and you put these cards into a machine and it has all your banking information and all your personal information. Can you believe that? And I'm like, yeah, Frank, I could. I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool. And he goes, and people are, remember the first cell phone? It was a big monster. And I remember my one boss, he thought he was so cool. He had this big contraption hanging off his belt loop. And think about it, we were like, oh, cell phones are never going to take off. Now we're addicted to them. We're addicted to them. We talked yesterday about how kids can't read cursive writing anymore. It's like cursive writing. Remember when you were in grade school? Oh God, Sister Norbert, how many times did I have to stay over until I got the cursive writing correct, you know? It's like, oh my gosh. And now they're reinventing or reintroducing cursive because it's a necessary item. But think about these things that, how did they happen? It wasn't by people going, oh no, we're sticking with black and white, we don't want anything else. No, they had to imagine, what would it be like to see something in color, to see a moving film? What would it be like to have a plane take off, or have a cell phone, or have an ATM card, or any of these things? It had to start with a concept. And guess what? We're taught in this teaching that it already exists out there in a plane, doesn't it? It already exists out there. We're just pulling it into our experience. So when we're doing our prayer, we're making the demand on the universe, which may sound like a heavy-duty word, but guess what? We're making the demand to say, I am knowing right here and now. All the money in the world is showing up at my door. I remember, I think I've shared this story that Terry Cole Whitaker said. She had a bad experience with one of her managers, and he had ripped her off. He had taken a lot of her money. And she said, you know what? I'm just going to know that money shows up, bags and bags of it shows up at my door. And they're all like, oh, come on, Terry, that's a little. No, she goes, no, I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I see it happening. Do you know what happened? The mailman showed up with a bunch of mail bags, with many of them were checks and letters and stuff like that. And what had happened was some of her funds and her correspondence had gone to the wrong address. And they found all these bags and they brought them to her door. And she said many of them were filled with money. And now, guess what? All of her friends may turn around and go, not a word of truth in that. What are you thinking? You're Pollyanna, you're pretending. Stop it, you gotta be realistic. You know, how many of us have heard somebody go, would you be realistic for a second? Stop thinking that pie in the sky stuff. Well, guess what? It's that pie in the sky stuff that get us beyond where we are. You know, some of us, we want everything to change, but we want to stay the same, right? And that it doesn't work that way. We have to change along with it. But the change, if we look at it, is always for good. Guess what? It's always for good. It's always for good. In every case of new inventions, there was a calling to that person to create something new. And guess what? You have the same calling. You have the same calling. You wake up in the morning, you do, pardon me, your meditation or your prayer. That's the universe calling you. Hey, what great things are you going to do today? What wonderful things are you going to bring out into the world? How are you going to splash your light in this world today? Because that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Remember our song today, this little light of mine, I'm not going to hide it under a bushel. Heck no, I'm not. You can create whatever it is that you desire. And I want you to look at your neighbor and say, I can create whatever I desire. Now you look at them back and say, you can create Whatever it is you desire. Now, when was the last time you heard that? When did your mom and dad ever say that to you and stick to it? They'd be like, Mary, do the dishes. You go do your homework. That's how you get things done. It's like, no, give yourself time to play. We need that play time. Ernest Holmes taught that the human mind is a co-creative force with the divine. Co-creative force with the divine. That means as we think, so it is. But guess what? It's not all of us doing the work. It's fueled by the power that we're created with, right? So it is, the universe operates on spiritual laws, and the mind is the primary instrument through which all this happens. It's not by your doing, it's not by your talking, it's by your mind. That's how it happens. Everything is possible when I come from an understanding that God is preparing everything for me just as I decree it to be. There's the rub, isn't it? Just as I decree it to be. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes we get all busy and we have a beautiful, beautiful idea and we go, oh, it's going to be really good. And then someone comes up and goes, you know what, that's not going to work. That's really, again, what, you got to think about it. You can't afford that. That car is out of your realm. This is what you can afford. Don't go for that. Does it work? It works when we work it. It works when we absolutely say, you know what? I can't figure it out right now, and I don't need to. I say, God, you do it. I don't need to figure it out, but I need to be open and receptive to the perfect solution. And you try that today. Try that whatever you're in a pickle about. Just say the perfect solution is coming to me, and God's knowing what to do. I just had that discussion with my friend yesterday. We were talking about, okay, what are your challenges? All right, let's think about it, and let's just know that God's in action right now. Boom. It kind of takes the responsibility off your plate, and you can kind of breathe and relax into things. And guess what? When we're relaxed, when we're breathing into things, when we're allowing, that's when all the ideas come. But guess what? When you're tight and you're scared and you're making a fist and fearing, right? Can things come in? No, because our minds are shut off. We're in that tight space that needs to open up. Holmes emphasized that our mind is like a magnet, attracting what we identify with, and that we can consciously reverse our old thought patterns by aligning to our desired outcomes. I have Post-its all over my mirrors. My sister's coming to visit in 2 weeks, and I'm trying to prepare. I go, just be ready. So I have Post-its all over the place. I have my ideal weight, I have this, and I am a money magnet. I am a money magnet. Say that with me. I am a money magnet. All that I love, I am attracting right now. And I believe it. Isn't that easy? It's simple things like that. It's not, going to the mountain and, staying in a pretzel position for 5 hours, meditating. It's absolutely just declaring and keeping yourself on that path all the time. It's easy peasy. The quality of our life is determined by the quality of our choices. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? And sometimes we forget that we're a choice. Sometimes we forget that the things that we're choosing are actually happening. But we have to have faith in it, right? We have to have faith in it. It's not what you want that you attract. You attract what you believe to be true. Wow. What you believe to be true. So the idea is, just like Susan read in her lesson today from Living the Science of Mind, it's our belief, isn't it? We want to believe in the thing. And Wayne Dyer always says, it's not seeing is believing. It's believing is seeing. Right? We had it in reverse. It's believing is seeing. So when we put our belief in it, it absolutely will come true. It does. And it happens all the time. The famous quote from the Apostle Paul in Corinthians, it's, actually the original language of Jesus and the apostles was Aramaic. And in the Aramaic it says, so we fix our eyes not what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, and what is unseen is eternal. What is unseen is eternal, right? It's always evolving. So everything is always created twice, like I said. So the eternal is, we are just pulling in the idea. Did the idea of a television set even though it was done in 1927, was it available in the 1600s? Yes. But guess what? Their developmental ideas of imagination hadn't happened yet. Although you read about the life of Michelangelo, heavens to Betsy, he was creating all kinds of amazing things long before they were ever realized, right? So the ideas are there. It's a matter of us pulling them in. You know, your next greatest invention is right there, and all you got to do is pull it in. Think about Bitcoin, which I'm not going to profess that I understand at all, but who created Bitcoin? Think about how that got created. It's like it's fake money. It's like invisible stuff, but it's very successful. And it's very, people that have invested in Bitcoin are millionaires many times over. And we don't even know what Bitcoin is, but somebody created a Bitcoin, right? I heard a story about a guy that had like $3 million in Bitcoin, but you have to know your password. And he's forgotten his password. And you get 3 tries for your password, and he's used 2. So only he has 1 left, and he can't remember what his password is. So I thought, does he feel wealthy or does he feel broke? Right? Think about that. He's got to know his password. I thought, isn't this interesting? What an interesting easy come, easy go, right? I mean, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Prayer then is not about asking for what you want, but it's making ready for the reception of it. So our prayer isn't supplemental, like, please, God, bring this to me. It's like, come on, God, let's create this. Let's make this happen. And let's be ready for it. So it's a matter of making ready for the things that you desire. As students of this teaching, we learn to cultivate the belief that God has already given to us everything that exists. It's already there. So what's it a matter of? Aligning our consciousness with what it is that we desire. But many times in our life, we're aligned with what we don't desire, right? Oh, I don't want to go to school. Oh, I don't want to make that drive. Oh, I don't want to have to pay that bill. Oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to gain 10 more pounds. I don't want to do this. Whatever it is. We're so focused on what we don't want. What's that? That's a prayer that we're putting out into the universe all the time. And the universe is always listening. And guess what? You're always listening to yourself too, aren't we? We're always listening to ourselves. So guess what? You change the dialogue and you say, I'm declaring right here and now that all the good in the universe is mine. And I am receptive to it. I am open to it. I allow it. And it is happening right here and now. I don't have to know how. I only have to know. I only have to know it. And the moment you've set that table, right? We set tables for guests, don't we? When guests are coming over, we have the nice fork, spoon, all that garbage, right? We have all that stuff ready. Guess what? Set the table for your own success. And the moment that we do that, everything opens up, right? We're not praying to God, we're praying with God. Feel the energy difference in that? We're praying with God. We're praying with the power inside of us. And the moment that we do that, we're in that alignment. We're always in that alignment anyhow. Whether we recognize it or not is a very essential thing. Faith is not believing in something, it is turning something on. What did you just turn on? When you have faith, what do you turn on? You turn on that energy, that expectancy, that allowance, that faith, right? The flow is already within us, awaiting our recognition. We are acting, thinking, and being from a boundless, creative power that created the infinite divine mind of God. And it's your mind and my mind. That's why we don't go to our problems with God. How silly that is. To go to your problems with God, God goes, I'm sorry, I'm the greatest thing that is. Nothing can challenge me. Why would you go to me with your problems? You come from that God self within you with the answer already. You don't have to know the answer. You just have to be open and receptive to it. So when we disregard appearances and all the conditions and all the things, and we rest in the assumption that you're already what you want to be, you already have what you want to have, you're already doing what you want to do, guess what? Everything becomes possible. And that's what it's about, opening to the possibility. I wrote all these little one-liners. And so if you can imagine yourself other than who you are, if you cannot imagine yourself other than who you are, then you will always remain the same. Back again, the Wright brothers didn't create the plane by thinking about it not working. When we think with complete conviction, we create through our belief system. We are made of the one infinite intelligence which operates completely on our beliefs. We're created and we live from that universe that loves us and only wants our success. So I encourage you this time to think a life that's empowering. Think of the can-dos that'll happen. Tell yourself a story, your own story, that's going to empower you. And give yourself the opportunity to dream bigger. You know, when puppies are happy, they wag their tails. So I don't know, actually it was a typo in my talk, and I'm like, oh, I've created a new word, and I kind of like it. It's like, so have some wagonation. I was trying to type imagination, and I went, oh, wagonation, have some wagonation. And I want to share this with you. You won't all be able to see it, but I want to share this with you because it's this cute little video, and I hope he's on here. Come on, little guy. Okay, I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to turn this on and see if you can hear it. Okay, let me get there again. Okay.
Wakey, wakey, you juicy little raspberry. Remember today that you're everything the world needs. Bold, brilliant, and utterly unstoppable. So let's get this day started. Unplug your mug, polish those pearly whites, and strut into this day like it owes you rent. Be the change you want to see, and don't be changed by the twat waffles who fail to see.
There's another one
If you're
too.
making money and you don't
Sorry.
know your tax options, that's a
Oh, we'll
huge-
hush him down. There's another one too, where this little dog, I've been following him on Facebook. He carries a toy with him everywhere he goes. So the one that I didn't see it, he has a little duck with him, and he's like, and he has he has a turkey leg. He has all kinds of things. It's really crazy. Okay, here it is. We'll play another one just for the fun of it. Okay. Ooh.
Just in case no one's told you today, you're an incredible, amazing human being, and you got a great smile. And today you must use it. Because this world needs more light, so don't bottle it up. Now go have a powerful day.
How could you not have a good day after seeing that little puppy? And I thought, you know what? There's our wagonation. You've got to, start the day with something like that gets your juices flowing and you have liftoff, because that's the most important thing. So now, how about if you affirm with me? There is one power. That power is God. That power, oops, and he's saying it again. That power is the power I use every day. I am alert. I am alive. I am knowing great and wonderful things for myself. And look at your neighbor. I am knowing great and wonderful things for you. So look out, world. Here I come. And so it is. Okay, thank you. Now I am going to be singing a song here that I wrote. I just have to find it on my little computer. I have a lot of little doggies. Oh, I guess I've gotten a lot of emails since I sent it to me. Okay, all right, here we go. This is called, I'm just doing this for 4th of July, and it's called, I wrote this, I looked this up, I wrote this like 25 years ago, and it's called Lady of the Harbor. She is the lady of the harbor. She shines her light of liberty. Beneath her watchful gaze, she lets you know that you are home. You are home. Far from across the ocean, from many distant lands. Brave men and women ventured in search of a new life, in search of a new land. America, America, well, the world knows you're red, white, and blue. The vision of our nation is built on these inherent truths. There is one world, one people, one nation. There is one love. We learn from history to stand for what we believe, to keep our heads but listen to our hearts, hear the resounding declaration. It's the spirit of our nation. America, America, well, the world knows you're red, white, and blue. The vision of our nation is built on these inherent truths. There is one world, one people, one nation. There is one love. There are brave men and women who with undaunted courage have given of their lives so that we can be free. So let us not forsake them. Well, they have not died in vain. They teach us that we have roots and we have wings. America, America, well, the world knows you're red, white, and blue. The vision of our nation is built on these inherent truths. There is one world, one people, one nation. There is one love. America, America, well, the world knows you're red, white, and blue. The vision of our nation is built on the inherent truths. There is one world, one people, one nation. There is one love. There is one love. There is one love. She is the lady of the harbor. Thank you. That was produced by my friend John Henry. I literally sang in the closet. It was our sound booth. So there you go. All righty. This is the time of our offertory, a sharing of our gifts. And so I invite you to take your gift in the palm of your hand. And please, let's do our affirmation on the left-hand side of our page, which says, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. Okay. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful. I am so blessed. That's good. Right. Thank you all. We're doing as we bless our gifts. Thank you, Bart, for coming along here. He's doing it solo today. We know Rita's at a play. And so we thank you. Here we go. And let's know. Here we go. No, here we are. Let's just know that we are blessing our gifts and knowing we're giving thanks for all the great things that are happening at this center and these abundant, cherished gifts actually help to grow our center and make it the shiny, new, and beautiful place that it is. Thank you, Bart. Okay. All righty. And so now we're going to close with the benediction. And in that prayer, this is what I am knowing for each and every one of us. There is one power. That power I call God. That divine creative intelligence that lives, moves, and has its being as me. And that power is the very power that I use every step of my way. I open my mind to imagine my greatest life ever. All things working for right and for good today. I am open and receptive to all the good of the universe. And I allow it to be. I see it in my mind, and I see it in my actions, and I see it in form in my life. And so I trust in this power, and I follow the suggestions, the purpose, the ideas that I receive from my quiet times that I am still and know that God is. And so as I release this prayer with gratitude, I accept my good, I accept my success, I accept all the joy that there is to accept in my life. And I let it be so, knowing that as I speak this word into the divine law, it is brought back to me perfectly, just as I imagined, and even greater. I say, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God, and together we say, and so it is. And now we'll have our prayer, our peace song.